And Sarah, why don't we start with you?
Sure. Thank you so much, Jill. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Sarah Mcguire. I'm the Director of Synergy Young Professionals at Action Greensboro, and we are a young professionals network for all the young adults that are living and working in our city.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here. Iman.
Hi, thank you for having me. My name is Iman Khan. I am the chair of the Greensboro Youth Council and a senior at Northern Guilford High School.
Welcome. And Maurice.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maurice Ferret, and I'm the Student Government Association president at Guilford Technical Community College.
Thank you so much. Well, we're just going to jump in, and hopefully this will be a conversation. And so feel free to just speak up, and we'll share some ideas and some thoughts together. I'm going to begin by asking you, what do you think are some of the most pressing issues that our city is facing right now in this strange time in which we're living? What are some of the issues that we really need to tackle right now?
I guess I can start with that question.
Thanks,
I
Maurice.
think, yeah, of course, the biggest thing that I've seen is many students are lacking the motivation to finish school and further continue to be in school because they feel as though they are not able to do that, or based on their living conditions, they're not worth doing that.
It's just challenging, even more challenging right now. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll piggyback off of Maurice and just say that I know that one thing that is a pressing issue specifically within the community that I work in is helping all of those bright, young, talented students find their place in our city, whether that be personally or professionally, helping them uncover all the industry that's here, or helping them uncover just what a welcoming and diverse community Greensboro actually is. And so in a larger scheme, I think one of the pressing issues that Greensboro has facing is, who is Greensboro? How do we define ourselves? What is our brand, and how does that speak to the people who are living here and the people that we want to live here?
Yeah, absolutely. That communication piece is huge too. Yeah. Iman, what do you think?
I'll also piggyback off of what Maurice said. I know for me, I'm a senior in high school, so when everything started and we had to move on to online school, at first it wasn't bad because we thought it was just going to be for a little bit, but I know now, for me personally, it's a lot harder because I am like a more hands-on learner. So I actually chose to stay at home because I thought it would be safer for myself and my family. So I definitely think that kind of finding the motivation to push yourself to do as well as you were doing before, and still going and still, like, school is important, but still wanting to do it as much as you wanted to before without having like the social aspect of friends and everything.
Yeah, there's a weariness, right, after being in this for so long and feeling disconnected, and how do we reconnect in a lot of different ways. It sounds like that's part of what I'm hearing from all three of you, is that need to be connected, and maybe even particularly right now and in the months ahead. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this may be a little bit of a harder question in a way, but I hope you'll just use your imagination, and I'm sure you've probably thought about these things. But when you think about our city and say, I don't know, 10 years from now, what would you hope to see? What would you hope to see in Greensboro 10 years into the future?
That's such a fun question. I'll hop in. This is something, it is daunting, but fun at the same time. This is something that we think about a lot at Action Greensboro and its Synergy, because, you always have to think a few steps ahead. What's happening in Greensboro now, we have some amazing things happening, but we want to be able to, catapult those to the next level. And so when I think about what Greensboro can look like in the next 2, 5, 10 years, it's really just building on the strengths that I think that we already have. And again, I'll say bright, young talent like Maurice and Iman. We want you guys to stay here. We want you to feel like Greensboro is a welcoming place for you to be. And so I think that, 10 years down the line, we have more of that. We have more people who are passionate and excited, and more of that connectivity. I think everyone's living in a silo right now. And once we're able to be back together I hope that all the things that we've missed out on over the past year will come to fruition tenfold, and that we'll just continue to build that, again, welcoming and diverse. And I know I've already said that once, but those truly are the characteristics I think that Greensboro has. So that's a really vague answer, and I could take up a lot of time and talk about what that looks like specifically, but I think that we would just continue to grow on those strengths that we have of being a community that touts how connected it is and touts how welcoming and diverse it is.
Yeah, and maybe this time of being siloed tenfold will help us to really want to be connected, and because there are still a lot of divisions and silos, right, that we need to work on bridging those divides.
Absolutely. Not just the physical ones, but the ones that will continue on when we are back together. We need to work on those to break down those walls that we have built.
Yeah. Amon or Maurice, what do you want to see in Greensboro 10 years into the future?
Yeah, one thing that y'all hit on was togetherness. I really want to see people bonding and strengthening those bonds. Strengthening. I'm sorry, those bonds.
Yeah.
It's hard work for me. Those bonds to basically rely on each other to provide resources and use those resources to further our community.
Great, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with the stuff that's been said. I think just being able to trust in the community and knowing that if you ever need help, they will be able to help you. I know personally, I do have that kind of trust in the people I are maybe friends with or see a lot, but I have noticed that people with my mosque don't always have that same trust. So just building that, and not necessarily within my mosque, but just with different places of worship. So like if it's like a team of churches and mosques and like synagogues working together or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Trust, connectedness, feeling like we support each other. And I'm glad you mentioned faith communities doing that together, because I know that has happened and is happening in Greensboro, but it'd be wonderful to see more of that. Certainly from my perspective, it would. What are some things you love about this city? What are some things that you want to tell other people about that you think are, and it can be as specific as a particular place you like to eat. So it can be anything. What do you love about Greensboro?
I can go first. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, no, go ahead.
Okay. I definitely love like all the parks we have. I love being outside in nature. So, just like now we've had nice weather, so I try and like sit outside as much as I can. I do have pretty bad allergies, so sometimes that gets a little hard. But
spring can be tough.
Yes, like the walking trails we have. There's actually, I also love Ozzy's Ice Cream. I don't know if you've heard of that place. They have like a nice place to sit outside. I think it's off of like Battleground Avenue or Battleground. So they have a nice place to like sit outside, and sometimes they have like live music and different things like that. So I feel like that's also a place where you can kind of feel a sense of community.
Yeah, places where we can kind of informally connect. I think sometimes those are incredibly important, just those kind of accidental interactions. So now I know where I'm going after this. So thanks for the tip. Maurice, what do you love about the city?
One thing I have to say is the food and how diverse it is. I've been living here for almost 10 years, and I recently found out that there's a whole bunch of food that you could try here, from Mediterranean, Chinese, Mexican, Italian, all of that.
I'm with you. I want to try every one of them.
Yeah, I second that. Food is my first love in life, and Greensboro definitely has any option that you're looking for sure. So one of my favorite things outside of food is kind of that informal space that you mentioned, Jill, and especially during this time where we're trying to safely interact with people. I'm really grateful that Greensboro has a lot of fun restaurants and bars if you're of age to be out on the patio and listening to music, and the green space, just like you said. My goodness, this season of my life, I've been more grateful than ever that I live in a place that getting outside is so easy and convenient. Greensboro has a million parks, and an awesome downtown greenway that's being completed. So I feel like we're very fortunate to live in a community where we can get outside quickly and enjoy it.
Right, enjoy nature and have that space. Absolutely. Well, let's just dream a little bit together. If anything is possible, let's just imagine anything is possible. What would you like for us to accomplish together in Greensboro?
Of course, to be the best city out there.
So when they talk about great cities, they say Chicago, New York, Greensboro, that there's a buzz about us.
Yes, ma'am.
I like that.
I'll
What
second
else?
that. The best city for everyone. I'll say I want us Greensboro to have that reputation as being a place that anyone can find something that makes them feel at home. Whether that be the green space or it be great schools for their family to go to, or Ozzy's ice cream, which is delicious. We want to be the place where everyone feels welcome.
It's great.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Just like a place where no one feels like that outstander. I'm not sure if that's the correct word.
Yeah.
But everyone feels like they're welcome, and they don't have to like try to fit in. They just naturally fit in.
Yeah. It's I mean, y'all are describing really kind of a radical hospitality, right? We talk about that in some of our faith communities, that sense of radical welcome, and that you don't have to be a certain way or act a certain way or be from anywhere in particular, but that you're welcomed as you are and valued. I would love for that to be our reputation as a city, and to foster that. And thinking about some of these things, these hopes and visions, how do you think faith communities can participate in these things, or how would you like for faith communities to participate in bringing some of these things either to reality or to help them grow and to foster them? Because some of these things obviously are already happening. But do you have any sense of how faith communities could participate and bring some of these things to fruition?
I think that the faith community in Greensboro is such a powerful slice of our community. And I'm a white Protestant Presbyterian myself, so I think something that would be helpful for me as a member of this community is more cross collaboration. I've never been to a mosque before, and I would love to know more about that. And I think that whether you prescribe to that particular belief or religion or not, it just helps to facilitate breaking down those barriers and being more welcoming. So I would love to, I don't know if this may have already happened, this is just me spitballing, but it'd be fun to take like a tour across the city of different communities of faith.
That would be great. Absolutely. Yeah. Iman or Maurice, do you have any thoughts on how faith communities could participate in bringing some of these dreams to reality?
I think maybe just putting the message out there that at the end of the day, we are all like one big family, I guess you could say. So even if it's something as simple as maybe having like a little carnival, after COVID's over, where you do have mosques sponsoring it, but also churches and like synagogues and other places of worship sponsoring it. That way you see people from all walks of life and all religions, and you maybe see someone. So my family's from Pakistan, so I might see someone who's from Pakistan but is also a Christian. That doesn't mean like we can't be friends. It just gives you like another person to connect with.
Yeah, right. And to understand ourselves more fully for all kinds of aspects of who we are and who our families are and where we're from. Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely want to hit on the point of inclusion and trying to focus not mainly on that, but try to include that in everything that you do. Try to let other people know that just because we have this religion or we follow this way, your way is not wrong, but it's included as well.
Yeah. And if we can be those spaces where we broker some of those conversations and some of those learnings and just some of the opportunity to eat together. We did talk about food, right? Just gathering around the table with people can be so transformative.
One more thing I'd like to add, if I can.
Please, yes.
I think that, and this this is not going to be the right word, but I feel like it's almost the duty of the faith community also to be present in the pressing conversations that are happening in our community. For instance, we know that social and racial equity has come to the forefront, not only in our community, but across our nation, as it should. And I'm sure that many of the faith community members individually and as a part of an institution have taken part in that conversation. But I think that continuing, not just on that particular focus area, but across any major topic that is affecting our community, I think that having a presence in those conversations by a faith community is very important.
Thank you for lifting that up. Absolutely. Yeah. There's a theologian I respect who says faith is lived geographically. So you have to go to places and be that person of faith, whether that's not just in your place of worship, but on the streets and in City Hall and where those conversations are happening. So yeah, absolutely. Well, as we wrap up our conversation, I want to say thank you again. I want to give you opportunity if there's anything else that you would like to share. Would love to hear it. You are inspiring me through this conversation. So any other words you would like to share with First Pres Greensboro and the others who will watch this video?
One thing I can share, I remember before COVID, and it was a couple years ago, I attended a like interfaith council type thing. So there was people from all different faiths, and it was like a one dish type thing, so families could make something and bring it, and then we would like just sit down wherever you could find a spot and like talk to each other. And I found that was really nice and like enjoyable. And there was people who were like Christian and Jewish and even like Muslim like myself, and even other religions that I didn't mention that were there, and it was just like an amazing time. And no one felt like an enemy or anything like that. Everyone just felt like a family, I guess.
That sounds great. When we can do that again on the other side of this, it's going to be wonderful. And I think we'll be longing to do it. So thank you for reminding us of that kind of an experience and how important it is. Any other things that Sarah or Maurice?
I'll just say thank you for having us here. It's always great to connect with people outside of your immediate circle. So it's been a pleasure to chat with the three of you and hear your perspective. And I hope that the folks that watch this later on will get the same experience from it that I've gotten.
Thank you so much.
Thank you as well, because I don't know if you can tell, but I like meeting new people and learning about their experiences and everything that's going on in their life.
Well, this is our first conversation, but I really hope it's not our last conversation. Because it is just delightful to be with you, and I am inspired by your spirits and your intelligence and your insights, and I look forward to partnering with you as we build connections and we foster trust and we really become one family, and we become the buzz of the nation, right? Everybody's going to want to come to Greensboro.
Yes.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.